Hey, everybody. Hey. It is your girl, Precious Williams, and welcome back to the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. Y'all know how we do. Some days we're not on Sundays because we want to do a special edition, something that, is on my heart, and I just definitely want to share it with you all. So, on the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show, we are all about pitching, branding, communication skills. And we are especially here for our entrepreneurs, our speakers, our authors, and also big companies, medium-sized companies, small companies, foundations, nonprofits. And I have had this show, I feel like I had it almost 2 years. And I never get tired of it. I never get tired of talking about, pitching, of course, as a killer pitch master, being a 13-time national elevator pitch champion. That never gets old. And teaching the art and science and a killer pitch. I want to show you where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. So where does the money really reside? It really resides in owning every aspect of you. And not like the fake authenticity and transparency, but no, owning all aspects of you. I love it when my kings and queens always tell me, you don't really code switch. You really are like this all the time. It's because I got tired of it. And, I came from a legal background. I came from a legal background and I never quite fit in. And after a while, there comes that moment, that come to Jesus moment that we all have heard about, where you have to decide, are you going to go with the grain or against the grain? I didn't quite fit in, but I didn't realize that rejection was protection. And that's why I want to share this with you all today. I woke up this morning, and every morning I wake up, I thank God for another day. I should remind myself of my grandmother, Big Precious. And it was on my heart. And so I want to talk to you about how from rejection to protection. And there's something big I want to share with you all with that. And so today's episode is all about author tales from rejection to protection. I don't know about you all, but have you ever just truly felt like you weren't liked, you weren't respected, that people looked at you as if you were like the run of the litter, you were the black sheep, and you couldn't figure your way out of it? You couldn't quite put on the right makeup, the right clothes, and everything to try to fit in. Or maybe you didn't have the money to be able to do that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because that rejection can lead to protection, the ultimate protection, because you're protected from the things that everybody else is going through, because you're over here being molded and shaped into who you're supposed to be. And yeah, I gotta tell y'all, this is very emotional for me, because as an entrepreneur, I want people to know that it is not as easy as it looks online. Even if you have an online business, there are hard times, but how do you go through it? How do you get through when your family and your friends don't see the vision that God placed on your heart? What do you do when there's years or times when no money is coming in? Do you give up, or do you dig in even harder? Do you have to put your blinders on? Do you have to realize that all the love and you give to celebrities and influencers is the same love you need to give to yourself? And so I want to talk about that today. And so if y'all with it, I want to know who my guests are. I want y'all to put in the comments your name, the name of your company, or what your newest endeavor is. Let me know if you're a speaker or an author or an entrepreneur, or if you're in corporate America and there's something you want to give birth to. Because today, oh, mask go. What? Mask go. We going in. Okay. So today, hashtag author tales from rejection to protection. So let me see what my peeps is saying. David, authenticity is key. David, I'm so glad you're here. Happy Saturday. Brittany, I'm so glad you're here. So happy you're here. LinkedIn user, I'm not sure who you are, but drop that in the comment. I like to show the love to my peeps. So again, y'all, I love this particular topic. Is so real, and I just gotta share with you something. So y'all know my new book, The Pitch Queen, is coming out on September 13th, 2022. It is in pre-sales. but y'all get to see it in the flesh right now. Yes. 100, it was 154 pages, 147, 148 pages. It's my fourth book. Why would I ever write the fourth book? What does this have to do with the topic of from rejection to protection? Let's talk about it. The Pitch Queen. In the almost 4 years that I walked out of homelessness on September 1st, 2018, before that, being an addict, before that, being homeless, I was deeply ashamed to talk about that. However, there were stories I was ashamed to tell y'all that are worse than those stories. How did that happen? And so every year I write a book with the great Sharon Monet, Pen Legacy. Our first books were really about the art and science of the killer pitch. And then once you have your pitches, how do you how do you build up business development? How do you get people to pitch your name in spaces that you've never been? How do you teach others how to pitch you so it's a done deal and you're the only choice that matters? Well, finally, with my fourth book, I felt comfortable. There were some things I wanted to take to my grave because I had deep shame about them. And I don't mean childhood shame, I mean adult shame. There were things in my book that I felt like, okay, God, you're telling me open, open up so that you're not pegged between childhood and 5 years ago, homelessness and addict. There's so much in my 43 years. So I have dealt with feeling rejected for so long that it became an art form that I constantly pushed against. And I was constantly fighting against people who wouldn't invite me to events, people who would talk down on my name, and people who only saw me as the flawed individual who could never come back. And so there was an anger in me because it was like, listen, I am more than my mistakes. I'm more than that. I'm so much more. I'm much more than the homelessness. I'm much more than being a former alcoholic. But there were things that drove me to wanting to stay quiet and put on the mask of perfection. And so in this book, I wanted to share what type of rejection I went through, what type of heartache that I went through, in hopes that it will inspire the next generation of authors and speakers and entrepreneurs that you cannot let it stop you. You got to keep moving. There is a time and a place for everything. And the people that will dish you today will be in your inbox tomorrow because they cannot understand how their rejection led to your protection. There are places I was not supposed to be. Had I made it big in my 20s, y'all, I'd be dead today. Had I made it big in my 30s, I'd be dead today because there were certain things I had to go through. There were certain things I had to go through. And there was the good and the bad and the ugly of it all. Y'all think the pandemic and economic downturn and social unrest, monkeypox, all of that, there were things to me that were worse than all of that combined. And so when I wrote The Pitch Queen, I finally, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches was how I started in my, with Perfect Pitches by Precious. But it took a conversation with my queen and friend, Nicole Nixon, when I was writing this book and the title was going to be like The Pitch Bitch. And she said, well, Precious, you're the queen now. Take bitch out of it. You're not. I mean, you are a bad bitch, but you own the lane of pitching, an elevator, media, investor, speaker, sales, and interview. It's time for you to, you're not fighting to be heard anymore. You're sitting on your throne and you're showing other women you were hired by companies, corporations, foundations, and nonprofits so that they own their zone of genius and sit on that throne. And when I tell y'all the title, it felt good. And then Christian Kwan, created the cover. And when I saw this cover with me in red, and like I cried. Sharon, A Woman's Journey from Poverty to Purpose and Profits. Yes, I came from very little, but I found my purpose in the rejection because so many people feel rejected right now. They probably been feeling rejection from the way back. They didn't fit in. They didn't have the money, the connections, all sorts of things, and they want to give up. But there's a profit to for being in your purpose. What God was doing with all the rejection from men, the rejection from women, the rejection from organizations, the rejection from so-called sisters, the rejection from people who said that they love me. Baby, y'all, I'm gonna keep it so real in this book. There's a scene in this book where y'all gonna be like, did that really happen? Like, who dates a former drug kingpin? Yeah, I said it. Who did? Who did that? I did, and I almost lost my life. Who finds themselves pursued by both sexes? Who has to come back fighting against being trashed on social media and having to hold my head up high regardless? Coming back, quitting jobs, the things I went through at law firms, the things that I went through in my personal life that I was ashamed to talk about. The reason I wrote this book is because it's part memoir, part inspiration, and part kick ass manual. I didn't want to give you the nice and pretty of, yes, I get booked all over the world. Like, y'all can see that. But how did I get here? So I'll share a couple of titles with y'all. And in the comments, ask questions. I really want y'all to know that this book, being my fourth, it was a lot of heartache. It was a lot of tears about this book. Wanting to be like, I can't tell that story. And it was like, I can. So here's a chapter. Part one. You are not what you are called, but who you answer to. When God gave me a second chance, my enemies got quiet. Never should have made it, never would have made it without you. And the reason why from rejection to protection resonates so much is because I want to hear from you all. Can rejection lead to the ultimate protection? What were you being hidden from? What were you being kept from that might have kept you from your journey? What might have done that? So we often think about, well, what if life were perfect? What if I had the perfect family? What if I had all the money? What if I had all the connections? What if I can get flued out like an Instagram body? What if I can be that full figure? Like, what if everything was perfect? Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, when you hit a roadblock and everything was perfect, it is crushing. My speaking ability did not stop people from telling me I was whack. Didn't stop people from telling me I was too fat. Didn't stop people from saying, who the freak are you? You didn't go to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia. You don't even rank. You graduated from Spelman College. How you get kicked out of Georgetown and you ain't got nothing to show for it? Baby, without a Georgetown degree or Ivy League degree, baby, you just gonna be barred basement in these streets. What? You're from St. Louis? I mean, okay. I mean, why do you still have an accent? Like, you should sound like Northeastern people. Y'all, I've heard everything about me. Everything. From when I was thin to when I was bigger to who do you think you are? Baby, I've been rejected so many times. And I don't want y'all to think the success changes that there are people who stand in my way today, won't invite me places, will say also, and I have to be like, God, you're protecting me from something because there's something greater on the other side. And so if you all are interested in getting the Pitch Queen, it is available in pre-sales. And so you can go to us, it'll scroll at the bottom of the screen. You go to I'm sorry, that is so the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sorry. It's scrolling across the screen. Go to www.perfectpitchgroup.com and you can get your own hand signed copy of this book because I went from rejection to protection. There were so many things holding me back. So I'm gonna see what y'all are saying in the comments. But again, if you want to get this book, 100 almost 150 pages, why did BMW buy this book? Why are companies, corporations, foundations, and nonprofits all over buying this book? You might be thinking, well, Precious, how would they deal with corporate America? How many of us have been rejected in corporate America? How many of us thought we tried to fit in and it didn't work? How many of us have experienced microaggressions? How many of us have thought that we made it and it just wasn't what you thought it was? How many of us forgot what our real purpose is because we had to put food on the table and forgot who we were and whose we were? So y'all holler at your girl. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Ray, I'm glad you're here, Queen. Ray, I'm a passionate entrepreneur. I love it. LinkedIn user, consultant, writer, LV for short. All right, David, the Black Bullet Dichotomy. David Stamps, writer, producer, poet. And then we have Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. I'm Lorraine, CEO of Agile Consulting Boutique. Don't go chasing waterfalls, which is like Instagram. Don't go chasing waterfalls. I love that. Veronica. Oh, and Lorraine, I'm so happy you're here too, Queen. Veronica, great information and inspirational message. Thank you. Thank you, Veronica. I'm so glad you're here. David, keep it real, Queen. Brittany, I hear this too. You from South Carolina. What do you know? Oh, girl, and Brittany, I'm coming to South Carolina. I'm going to speak in Greenville, South Carolina at BMW, August 31st to September 2nd. So if you're around the area, maybe we can meet up. But again, how could I go from being hella rejected to speaking at BMW? That makes no sense. But do you know it does? All the things I used to push for and try for all fell before me because it was not my time. I am not meant to be in certain organizations and groups because I'm not supposed to be there. I'm not supposed to be a part of group think. I'm supposed to be like the ultimate outsider, insider, and I think that that's what people are experiencing. Like, yeah, I want this and I want that, and it's not happening because maybe that's not where you're supposed to be at that time. And that's why it's protection. Because if God let you in, your whole mindset might be skewed. I remember when I, auditioned for my first film. I didn't know how to audition. And I went to my friend and I said, yo, we got to put together an audition, something. And we were all over New York. And I was telling them, I move at the speed of light. This is New York, baby. And it was so cool. We were like, that's creativity. Because I thought, I didn't know I was supposed to, just speak to the camera and do a scene. No, I want to show them how New York is moving at the speed of light, and they loved it because it was outside of the box. That is so. What most people would have told me, girl, you need an agent, you need this. I have people coming to me now because they see that my creativity put me at a different place than others who had to follow these rules. So that rejection, and I'm not going to tell y'all it's easy to be rejected. I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all that I don't have moments where I am highly irritated that people keep trying to play games with me. And then I remember that there's a protection in not being in certain circles. If I think they're blocking me now, if I was in certain places, they continue to block me. So think about that. LinkedIn user, how does one get passed over for 45 jobs within your organization, although you have the education and credentials? I'm putting myself out there, although they say thank you for your service, and we're all about diversity and inclusion. Not so. LinkedIn user, I'm not sure who you are, but I will definitely say this. Yes, in the times that I looked for jobs way back when, the door kept getting slammed in my face. This was like when I was an attorney and I quit my positions. It was just like I got tired of being mistreated. But when I was looking for better positions, it just was not coming. And I'm not saying entrepreneurship is for everyone. And I had one foot in, one foot out. So I was doing document review. And then one day, people have been saying this so much, going all in another way, because the rejection might be that's not where you're supposed to be. It could be that the tactics you're using sound like everybody else, or maybe it's time for you to step out on a different type of faith, because maybe you're being called in another direction altogether. And I would encourage you to ask your friends and your loved ones, where do they see you? Because it might be totally different from where you see yourself. And that may be God's way of saying, you can keep knocking up against this door, but it's closed for a reason. There is a window over there, go through it. And I thank you for saying that, LinkedIn user. Katrina, how do you cover from rejection when you've been previously successful? Katrina, come through, queen, come through, baby. That's why, when I was writing this book, The Pitch Queen, and you may not know me. So I am Precious. I am a 13-time National Elevator Pitch Champion. I am a corporate trainer for the likes of Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft, Federal Reserve Bank, Intuit QuickBook, former attorney. I am a 4-time #1 best-selling author. All that shit sounds good, don't it? But let's talk about it. You say, how did I used to have a big life. So when I started my company, Curvy Girls Lingerie, people told me too fat, too black, no Ivy League degree. They wouldn't invest in me or anything. So I went to an event, pitched. That pitch got me on national television. And when I pitched, I had negative $400 in my bank account. Do you know, walked away with $500,000 from that television appearance, entered 14 pitch competitions, won 13 of them. Curvy Girls was off to the races, but hear all the rejection in the background. Do you know we blew through that money? I didn't really know how to run a company. And even though I've been in all these big things, there was something missing. I chose the wrong business partner. The man who inspired my company, he died abruptly. And when I tell you that grief was so overwhelming, I could not get myself together. So even though Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street, all those things were popping, I could not handle it because I was dealing with grief, rejection from my past, feeling unloved, unwanted. I had just blown the relationship with the man that I loved who's deceased. And I tried to take my life on my 38th birthday. Like, listen, I was homeless, hungry. I had nothing. And when I tell you that chapter was over, it was hard to accept that I'm reduced to nothing. My achievements, my accomplishments meant nothing. So I spent nearly 2 years in a Christ Center life transformation program. And the best that they were to tell me is I'd have a good job. And you know what? I did get a high paying job. And I lost that job. Why? Because I didn't know I was disbarred as an attorney. Yes, I was disbarred while I was homeless. They walked me out with security. Got another high paying job. And I knew, as good as I was at that job, I didn't want that job. And so I gambled on myself and I stepped out to become the killer pitch master again. And I was struggled. I was hungry, no money coming in, broke, broke. And I thank God for it, because that creativity and pitching got me out of a jam. And 3 years ago, we started Perfect Pitches by Precious. And I approached business totally different. I utilized my network in a different way. It wasn't just asking, hey, can you get me hired? No, it was truly understanding how to build the type of relationships for when things go wrong, things are going to be taken care of. When I wrote those books, when I wrote my first 3 books, it was truly to share that pitching can work if you understand how to communicate in a different way with people, building relationships and things like that. It changed my life. I spoke at one event for free. The rest started getting paid for it. And then I walked into Viacom and J. Jill and InStyle Magazine. These are places that wouldn't even look my way the first time I was successful. But I was a different person because I wasn't transactional. I was relational. But there was still something missing. It was, if I'm an open book now, there were some things I needed to get off of my chest because holding it in was holding me back. I accept that I have an accent. I accept that I'm a full figure diva. I accept that there's some people will never mess with me, will never F with me, will never rock with me. But that should not stop how I'm going to keep moving. Their rejection pushed me in a totally different direction. The direction I was supposed to be in, all since I was 5 years old. So in that, I know it sounds simple, but it wasn't. There was homelessness, there was addiction, there was stress, there was aggravation, there was getting evicted. And but I'm 43. I even evicted, stayed in the same house for 4 years. Rent paid, everything. I battled my way back with God's grace and mercy. But if I had to let those doors, the doors that were closed had to stay closed. Fuck them doors. I'm over here, fucking gatekeeper. I'm not with it. I'm going down a different path, and the path made other people like, that makes no sense. It doesn't matter because God's calling on my life. He needed no co-signers. And so what makes looks crazy to other people was perfect for me. And so I'm not going to give you the Pollyanna answer you might get from other people. It was hard, but persistence beats resistance, period. And I persisted in a different direction. I persisted in having the right people around me finally. I persisted. If I, go down again, I have a support network that's going to keep me afloat because I built relationships now and it's not transactional. And I want you to know that's why I wrote my books, because I want people to see that entrepreneurship, speaking, writing, all of that, it's not easy. And that's why you have to build up the right people around you, not the people you've just been comfortable with for years. I hope that helps, but I thank you so much for your question. Thank you, Katrina. How do I get a copy? I'm from Ghana, West Africa. Well, I want to say, is it A? I think what we could do in your example is probably send over the electronic copy. So you might want to look me up, Perfect Pitches, look me up on LinkedIn and send me a little note, and I'll see what me and my team can do for you. But I thank you so much, Dr. Ikena. Dr. Ikena, social media maven. She reckless, y'all. She is such a dope woman, a Christian woman, a God-fearing woman. But when I tell you she slices and dices the social media, holla at Dr. Akina. Dr. Akina, they are buying it because it's real. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, my Queen. See, you see what I'm saying about the right network? Dr. Akina, busy all the time, flying all over the place. And yet she sat to listen to me. That's when you can tell who your real friends are. Brittany Sweat, I'm getting this book today. Thank you so much, Queen. And remember, go to www.perfectpitchgroup.com. Ray, thank you for transparency, Queen. No, Ray, thank you. Kendra Ortega, thank you. Kendra, what you thanking me for? I want to know. I'm glad you're here. Brittany, I'm definitely going to try to get there. I would love to meet you. I'm in Aiken, South Carolina currently. I have no frame of reference for South Carolina because I don't live there. But, we're going to have a great time in South Carolina. I want to break bread with people. I want to chop it up. Also, I'm going to be in South Carolina, but I'm also going to be in Atlanta. I'm getting a Lifetime Achievement Award in Atlanta in September. Let me know if y'all want to get at that. And if you want to contact me, utilize LinkedIn. I'm Precious L. Williams, Killer Pitch Master. Send me a note when you're connecting with me that you listen to this particular thing and the links that you may need. If you're in the Atlanta area and want to come out and see me get a Lifetime Achievement Award, or if you want to go with me to see my billboard on Peachtree. Yes, y'all. This is on a billboard on Peachtree. Do y'all know what rejection to protection? I went from unknown to fucking legendary. How is that possible? It's because the rejection led to the protection. That rejection, it made me bitter and angry till I realized that God had a different purpose. Everything works out in the end according to Him. I'm not supposed to be we all aren't supposed to be everywhere. I'm not supposed to be a TikToker who's 15. I'm supposed to be 43 and showing women don't never let age, race, class, sex, sexual orientation, disability, differently able ever hold you back. You better use that as your secret weapon. Why? Because they never see you coming. There's no way I should be a 4-time #1 best-selling author with 2 reviews in Forbes magazine that, yes, I got earned media. I didn't pay for it. How is that possible? Because when you're the killer pitch master who became the pitch queen, I'm showing others how to get to the VIPs you always want to get to. And it's not about, hey, can you look at me? No. How do you bait, attract, and close them with ease? That is my gift, is packaging, positioning, and pitching. The three P's. And I want y'all to have that type of clarity about what you're doing. And remember, clarity comes from action. We all start off messy in the beginning, and then you go clearer and clearer along the way. That's why God said, you are no longer the killer pitch master, you're the pitch queen. Like Nicki Minaj, I got bad vision. I don't even see competition. Let me see what my peeps is saying. It's LV. I don't know what LV means. But I'll be over here. I'll be over here. Farah, hey Precious, hey Farah. So I met Farah. Was it last week or the week before last? Farah and I were at Andrew Frazier's small business power breakfast and conference, and she's been watching my LinkedIn lives for a while. And we finally met at the event. I had so much fun where we sat at the same table. We was chopping it up with each other and just making connections. I actually got to sit on a panel with some people I've respected for so long. There was an executive from Chase, another executive from a different bank. There was Casey Carpenter, who is a presentation maven. Gets big contracts for presentation skills and things like that. And I sat there and I remember just looking, just like, remember when my name was never spoken. Remember when people say my name, people are like, I don't even like that shit. And now I'm sitting here with people I respect because I'm not in the circles that I used to be. I'm around people who've done it so big and they welcome me in because I earned the right to be there, and I'm going to learn from them. I kept investing in myself. I kept paying for coaching. I paying for the people that I work with. Nobody gives me anything for free. Nobody. Like, and I believe in paying. And so when I had no money, some people took me under their wings, but as soon as I got money, I was on it. Don't let people lie to you. I paid, right? Uh, but even if you don't have money, don't forget we're creative people. Human beings are creative. You can rise from poverty and go all the way to the top if you have creativity and vision. And I want y'all to hear that. The pitch queen is gonna have some WTF moments in there for you. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gonna be like, what? That happened? Oh yeah, it happened. And I was ashamed to talk about it. But as my book coach and I were getting it all together, I had moments where I cried because I did not realize how much emotion I held in for some of the things that I went through or what I saw other people go through. And so it's time to tell the truth and show you the depth and breadth of experience so that you know you can do it. And you don't have to be in Forbes or all of, you can make a difference in your world, in your community by becoming a celebrity of your brand. I know we all love all these people who spend billions and millions, but I want you to know you can do that too, your way. This information experience. See, Dr. Akita, see, that's my queen. Dr. Fish, you my queen. Farrah, you know it. Hashtag faith over faith. Baby, you better do that. Um, Farrah, it was such a pleasure meeting you at the business conference. It was, Queen. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Dr. Ikena, people don't share the struggle. I appreciate you for sharing. I mean, me and Dr. Akena, we went to an event together. I remember I was so teed off. Do you know this woman? We were in the hotel room and she trying to calm me down. And there are women, honestly, I'm surprised they haven't come out with stories about me. Like, someone has incensed me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm out this piece. I'm deuces, deuces. And they'd be like, let me snatch you by your edges, precious. Dr. Akin, am I lying? Am I lying? Didn't you have to snatch me by my edges and tell me what time it was? Like, don't you let people walk you out of a situation. You go in there, you handle your business, and then you walk away on your own accord. See, that's the kind of people I have in my network who are like, Precious, I love you. All these other people love you, but I love you enough to tell you, no, you acting up. Get yourself back together. And I'm going to be right here with you. I love you. Brittany. Oh, I'm sorry. Brittany. It's no coincidence. We all tuned in. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Right, not as a word. What God has done in my life, I don't need a cosigner. You better come through. He don't need no cosigners. Ray. Brittany, I'm literally going through this now. God spoke this in my spirit. He literally building everything up so that others have. I'm sorry. God spoke this in my spirit. He is literally building everything up so that up that others have tried to tear down. Baby, he rejection protection. Brenda Jones, I met you many years ago while talking to you regarding your lingerie business. It is a privilege to see you grow, succeed, and kick ass. Thank you, Brenda. Oh, thank you. Dr. Akita, no, you are not lying. See, Dr. Akita got some stories. I'm telling you about me. She be like, I had to snatch her edges. That's why she ain't got none today. I'm snatching edges off the precious because she was acting up. Dr. Akita, love you back. Elaine, Victoria, well, like, yes, I'm coming to do what I came to do. Then I'll step. Yes, girl, we bounce on them. So, like I was saying, you all, I am so happy that we're talking about this. Hashtag author tales from rejected to protected. There is no way 4 years ago that I knew I would go from homelessness, having a good job, quit that, couldn't pay rent, to moving from the third floor to my own apartment, two-bedroom apartment, which means it's quiet. And then I was blessed to be able to get one of my sisters in homelessness with me to come into the home. Like giving back because there's a queen here. I'm at the luminary right now, y'all. I love the luminary. And there's a queen here today. She didn't know I was here. And she said, this place is dope. And I said, I want to show you around. I'm showing her around. I said, when life changes, when you see what's really possible in front of you. So when I was in the inner city of St. Louis, things changed in me because I was taken by these esteemed individuals who gave me scholarships or who the mayor of the city of St. Louis, like they took me places and I saw that there was a different way of living. I used to watch A&E and the Arts and Entertainment Channel way back when. And I saw the Greek Isle of Scorpios. I would look at the places where these wealthy people went and the things that they did. And I said, I'm going to do that one day. Blessed to go to Spelman College on a full scholarship. Met very, very sweet, talented, beautiful sisters that came from money and they never made me feel like I was a reject. They embraced me. I remember when I pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, 8 to Kappa chapter. There were so many things I learned, but it took years for it to really manifest, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link, but these queens would take me places that I had never been. Like seeing that I could go to law school, seeing that I could do big things, and I was never rejected by them. So then when I'm going through these tough times, my prophecies, fascises, my knees, my prophytes. I love to shout out Catalina Munns, Dr. Catalina Munns. She is a doctorate. And she came to Brooklyn one time and she asked what she could do to help me. And I said, I need help with my rent. Do you know this woman she just dropped the coins on me. Like not even nothing. She didn't say, oh, I'm disappointed. She was like, that's what we're here for. You struggling, you let your sisters know. You let your Spelman sisters know. You let your sorors know. You're not supposed to do this by yourself. Do you know in all that time I'm walking around in my shame? I don't think I should let people know I'm struggling. Do you know my profiles got me together? Morinike Christian, Daria Young Neal, Ivy Simmons, Jacqueline Jenkins. I may just be snatching my edges, be like, hey, Melody Cook McKeon, yo, I'll talk to them and they'll be like, girl, you popping on social media, but what that mental health looking like? Who cares enough for you for that? That's why the pitch queen is important. Because y'all know how y'all can learn how to pitch in my other books, but how do you get past the mental challenges, the fear and the worry and the doubt, the rejection, to finally understanding that your purpose is not tied to any of the people you think it's tied to, and that there are people who will love you to life. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and just share with you. If life ain't perfect, it's okay. I promise you. I tell you, God woke me up with that today. And I just want to share that with you all. So if you're going through rejection right now, feeling alone, dejected, battling mental illness, I challenge you to ask God to send you someone who you can talk to. So you can have like someone to talk to and bring God into it. I didn't know God until I was at rock bottom. And in my personal relationship with Him, He helped me to see that turning 40 was a gift and not a curse. That my body, even if it's not as we call it, even if it's not as perky as it once was, it's mine. And that I can't allow people to tell me you've hit a wall. All this kind of stuff. Like you can believe that if you want to, or you go out and make the life of your dreams. Never saw myself as a queen until I look back at all the things that I overcame. And I pray that women, especially women of a certain age, know nothing is impossible or out of reach. Your doubters will become believers, and he'll prepare us. He just will have you. You'll be sitting in the presence of your enemies, sitting tall. When he gave you the talents, he wants you to use them, multiply them, double them, triple them, quadruple them, and work it. Your purpose is not tied to him or her. It's tied to who he created you to be. So is it going to be scary? Heck yeah. Is it going to be who you biting your nails? But the thrilling Manila is coming. And so I want to talk to you all from experience and not from a textbook, not just from theory. I'm telling you what's true. When I go to Atlanta, I'm gonna look at that billboard in Peachtree, just like I looked at my billboards in Times Square. I'm gonna look at it. I thank God for my parents because even though we went through what we went through, the one who wasn't supposed to make it is up on a billboard, not as a flex, but to show what is possible when you've been rejected by so many, and yet he protected me so that I could shine when the time was right. So is the time right for you all? Let me know. Anybody have any final thoughts? And for those of you who are new, I'm Precious Williams. I really am the Killer Pitch Master, aka the Pitch Queen. And as a 13-time national champion, a corporate trainer for big tech and financial services companies, I'm an international professional speaker who is book busy and what paid, and a 4-time #1 best-selling author. And a lot of my success you just heard happened in the last 3 years. So, is it possible? Yes. And it does require changing your mindset and getting around the right people, but also understanding that nothing is impossible or out of reach. I've trained over 300 pitch champions. My clients are on television shows today. They're having #1 best-selling books. They're at book signings. They're being vetted for different types of television shows. They are getting investments in their companies. And that's why I still am a pitch trainer for different accelerators. And in fact, I am the co-host and a pitch trainer for a new national television show that's debuting in the fall. And Lord willing, we're going to have our LA premiere on October 7th, 2022. So that is what happened in 3 years. My line number is 33. So I'm so nice they gave me a three twice. My grandma was born in 1933. The 33rd president of the United States is Harry S. Truman from where? Missouri, just like me. And so nothing is wasted, y'all. Nothing. If you want to check out more, you can go to my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. You can take my free quiz. You can check out some of the events that I have coming up and register for them. You can check out my other books. You can also check out working one-on-one with me or having a consultation with me. And you can just have fun on the site. There's some fun things that I'd love for you all to check out. Also, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm Precious L. Williams, killer pitch master on LinkedIn. If you want to connect with me, please let me know that you met me here. And if any of the links that you may need, whether it's from my website or to purchase my new book at www.perfectpitchgroup.com, you can get one for yourself and for others. And here's my big ask. In addition to that, if you would like to purchase my book, if you all are connected to organizations that love dope speakers, fun speakers, engaging speakers for book signings, book readings, and to really showcase, especially since August is Black Business Month, contact me and let me know how you can connect us. I'm want to be in Barnes and Nobles, any great bookstores. I'm looking for a warm connection so that we can have even more book signings. Our first book signing is going to be here at the Luminary September 13th. After that, Alliance Bernstein, and then at every event that I'm going to be at, there is a component where people can purchase books. But I really want to read and interact with my audience. So, you know, bookstores that would love a book that's fun, engaging, some business in here, some tea, but also I am someone who has credentials, testimonials. I have over 225 testimonials from the biggest companies in the world to individual clients who are authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Let me see what y'all talking about. And again, today's episode was on hashtag Author Tales from Rejected to Protected. On the bottom of the screen, you'll see the scroll for how to get my new book, The Pitch Queen. Y'all know, y'all girl don't ever show up, So this is The Pitch Queen. Shout out to Sharon Monet, who is my book coach and publisher, www.penlegacy.com. That's PENLEGACY. Published all 4 of my books, got me in all sorts of things. Pen Legacy, Sharon Monet, my publisher and book coach. So let me see what my peeps is saying. Let me see what y'all talking about. Okay, hold on. Okay. Morgan, happy to have you here. Thank you, Ray. May God continue to favor your life. Thank you for being you. You are enough. My line sister, my 13, would say that to me, and I receive it. Farrah, ready to shine. You know how we do, Farrah. Brittany, thank you so much. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me see. Farrah, you need to get her book, Reading Them Now. So valuable and an easy read. Thank you all for being here with me today. We've had almost 48 minutes together. Again, if you need any of the links, please reach out to me on LinkedIn or any of those other sites. Let me know what links you need. And if you know people who want to buy in bulk from a Black woman who successfully is conquering the world of business, who can't sing, dance, or act or play sports, holla at your girl, the Pitch Queen. Thank you all so very much. If there's someone that you know who should watch this particular episode, type their names in the chat and tell them why they should watch this one. If they're authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, if people are feeling down, come watch this episode. Tell them to watch it. I will not reach out to them, but tell them why you want them to watch this. And please, y'all, I usually go every Sunday or every other Sunday, but I want to make this special edition so that you all can see I'm real in these streets. And I love what I do. And I'm honored that you give me your time on a Saturday. Hugs and kisses, everyone. Love you all. It's your girl, Precious Williams. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Keeping It Real with Killer Pitchmaster Show. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.